Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Affirmation. I am your host, Stephen Dillard Carroll. Juneteenth was this past weekend, and I'm wondering how you guys celebrated Juneteenth. Did you go out and have a barbecue? Did you meet up with family? Did you go to a parade? What did you do for this Juneteenth? Did you march in a rally? Did you go to a protest? Did you read the Emancipation Proclamation? For those of you who have been living underground, June 19th, 1865 is when the last of the slaves were freed in Texas, full 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. During the Civil War, during the end of the Civil War, many slave owners uprooted from where they were and moved to Texas, because Texas was one of those states that was still kind of unregulated at the time, and so they were free to actually hold on to their slaves for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation declared us free. And excuse me, I'm so sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I'm wondering how you guys, for me, Juneteenth is actually Independence Day, because it was truly the day that my people were 100% free. You know, I don't like getting political on this channel, and I have avoided all of that politics. I've alluded to a lot of things, but there really isn't. Politics has nothing to do with humanity. And regardless of our political affiliations, we should see each other as tiny bits of divinity which are stuffed into these tinier, minuscule bodies. And when we see each other as divine, we end up treating each other as if we are divine. And what a different kind of world we would live in if we all saw each other as divine and treated each other as such. So, my affirmation for you, my mini affirmation, my tiny affirmation for you this week is to go out there and be socially active in causes that make sure that they uplift everyone, that they see everyone as individual spirits within a collective whole of God energy, for a lack of a better phrase. I encourage you this week to go out there and do your part to be socially conscious and socially active, and making sure that your voice joins the throng of voices that are on the right side of history when we say that everyone is a tiny bit of divinity, and we see each other as divine entities. Therefore, we treat each other as divine entities. Black lives have always mattered. They mattered yesterday, they matter today, they will matter tomorrow. I encourage you to go out there and be socially active in any way that is comfortable to to you. So that is my mini affirmation for you. Happy belated Juneteenth to you all, and especially to my African American brothers and sisters and everyone who falls in between. Your lives matter. Your lives matter. My gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, QIA plus brothers and sisters who happen to be black, your lives matter because all black lives matter. Happy belated Juneteenth, everyone. So let's get into today's affirmation. It is brought to us by the Archangel Power Tarot, which is basically an oracle card and a tarot card mixed into one. And I love this deck for that reason. If this deck resonates with you, if you like what you see in this deck and you want your very own, you can get your very own in the description box down below. There is a link that will take you to where you can purchase this very deck. Not only will you find that, but you'll find the links to my top 5 faves, which are my 5 favorite decks to work with in my private practice. And if you would like to get your hands on those, links to those are also down below. And speaking of my private practice, I am a psychic by trade. It is what I do for a living. So if you would like to book a private appointment with me, I would love to spend an hour in spirit with you. The link for that is also in the description box down below. I would love to spend an hour with you one-on-one. So please do book an appointment with me if you feel so drawn to do so. And of course, my social media is down below as well. Finally, I would encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and share, because when you do those 4 things, like, comment, subscribe, and share, you really, really do help me out. And as we like to say on this channel, we can't do this alone. We are all in this together, and if we are doing something good and positive, it is up to the rest of us to lift that person up in unconditional love and rah, sis boom ba, them as they continue on their journey. And any help that you guys give to me, I am so very, very appreciative of. So let's jump right on into today's affirmation. And today's affirmation is brought to us courtesy of the 3 of Raphael. The 3 of Raphael, the Sex and the City card. I love that show. I still love that show. And even though there's a valid point that perhaps a lot of it does not hold up to today's standards, it is certainly a snapshot of a time in our history. And I love that show. I can still sit and binge watch it today. And take it for the fantasy that it is, and ignore perhaps the problematic parts of it, and just take it as the romantic fantasy that it is. But anyway, the 3 of Raphael, which is the 3 of Cups. Raphael is the cup language of this particular deck. We've been hitting up on Raphael a lot, which is interesting. Ever since we moved to this deck, Raphael has been making himself known. So there we go, the 3 of Raphael. And this says reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. Again, the 3 of Raphael, I love this card, not just because I love Sex in the City, and still do, but more so because of friends. It's very, very interesting as I have moved along on this spiritual journey, along this spiritual path that I have been on. What has happened quite naturally, quite organically, is that my family that is tied to me via DNA has become less important. Seems very harsh. That seems like a very harsh word. But because my family is important to me, and I don't want it to seem like the family that I have, that I am tied to via DNA, are not important, because actually they are very important. But I can tell you that I spend more time with my chosen family than I do with my DNA family. I have more in common with my chosen family than I do with my DNA family. My chosen family are on this spiritual path that I am. My family, my DNA family, of course, has a very Christian background, which there is nothing wrong with that. I have, interestingly enough, Baptist and Catholic run in my family, run very deep in my family. On my mother's side, Baptist, and on my father's side, Catholic. But I no longer resonate with that particular energy in a way that allows me to dig into that. I would love to. I would love to get into Christian mysticism and Hebrew mysticism. I would love to go down that path, because again, that interests me. But the mainstream Christianity kind of a thing that is very surface level and does not require you to think or to make judgments on your own, that is not for me anymore. And shout out to the people that it is part of their lives. It's just not a part of my path anymore. And excuse me, that was a motorcycle going by. It's still valid for the people who follow it. It's just not my thing anymore. And since my spirituality and my path are so important to me, I wrap a lot of my free time with spiritual pursuits. And so what am I trying to say with this? What I'm trying to say with this is sometimes the family you create is, again, more and less important. I hate those terms because it just seems like you're dismissing your DNA family. And that's not what I'm getting at here. I'm getting at creating your own tribe. It's sort of like this channel itself. I've done my best to create a tribe here of people who lift each other up, people who rah 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 sis boom ba each other, people who encourage and enlighten and inspire each other to be the best that we possibly can be. A channel that sees divinity in each and every one of us, like I was talking about at the top of today's show. I've tried my very best to create that kind of environment here. And if you don't have that kind of environment where you are outside of this channel, I really do encourage you to find one. I mean, it's one thing to have a internet family that will rah 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 sis boom ba you and cheer you on with every good and positive endeavor that you have going on. It's something altogether different to have people in your real life that do the same thing. And if you don't have that, I really, really strongly encourage you to get that. As I said many times before in this channel, we all need a cheerleading section in our corner. Everybody deserves that, because everybody is worth that. And I just get the feeling that perhaps there's someone out there, or some people out there. There goes that motorcycle again. I'm so sorry. There might be people out there that just don't have people that have their back in real time. And if that is you, I strongly encourage you to find someone or someones that will have your back in real time, because you're worth it. You are so worth having people that love you unconditionally. You are worth that kind of love in your life. You just are. Point blank, period. You are worth that. And there are people out there that will love you. There are people out there that will love you closer than a mother, closer than a father, closer than a brother or a sister, or anybody that is connected to you via DNA. There is someone or someones out there that will love you even deeper than that. And what a blessing that is. So if you do not have those kinds of friends in your life, I encourage you to go out and find some and be that kind of friend to those people as well. Again, it's reciprocal kind of a thing. Okay, that is our affirmation for this week. Go out and find some friends, perhaps at a Black Lives Matter rally, or at a protest, or, at a when you're supporting your local representatives. Getting out there and being socially and politically active might open yourself up to new friendship possibilities. Who knows? I encourage you to go out there and make some friends this week, and surround yourself with people that love you unconditionally. All right, everyone, have a fantastic week, and I will see you right back here next Monday morning. Bye.